Hello. What's your name?
I'm Madison.
Madison. Can I talk to your director, please?
Yes, she's in the restroom and she'll be right out.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hello. Are you the director?
Yes.
I'll wait till you get off the phone.
Okay, I'm talking to the owner.
Okay. Do you want to put her on speaker?
Okay, Shelly, I'm gonna put you on speaker, okay?
Okay, so what's your name? You're the director.
Jessica.
You're Jessica, and Shelly is the owner.
Yes.
Okay. Shelly, my name is Misty Hernandez, and I'm the grandmother of CJ and Briella Bryant. And my daughter brings her children here, and we have zero consent on file for your staff to paint our grandson's nails pink. I think that's not good. I think that's caused confusion for kids. I don't care what parent allows you to do that. And I'm still talking. I'm still talking. I'm still talking. No, I can't because you're interrupting me and I'm talking.
I am just finding out about this and I am not happy about it. I don't need you to give me a lecture. I'm going to lecture my staff.
Yeah, because honestly, that's against the law. That is confusion of a child. You do not have any consent form on file to paint his nails.
I need you to calm down right now. Your child is well.
And if I were you, I would stop yelling at me because your facility is in very big trouble for this.
No, we are not in big trouble.
You do not have consent from my daughter to paint his.
You are welcome to bring that child back in and we can take the nail polish off.
I'm definitely going to do that. I'm also going to record that because you do not have consent to paint his nails. Your staff is crazy for thinking they can paint a little boy's nails without consent of a mother.
You do not need to yell at me.
You're yelling at me and you're also cutting me off.
You are coming in and attacking everyone. It is a small child. It is color on his fingernails. And I just said to Jessica, it's not like they did pink, right? And she told me yes.
It doesn't matter if they did pink or green. You don't have consent to do either color to him.
We had activities going on today and a lot of parents don't care.
This parent cares and you have to have a consent in the state of Texas. You just assaulted me by saying that word, and you are being recorded. You are being recorded.
I need you to leave, and I am trying to get on.
Are you neglecting to take care of this? Because I'm trying to talk to you.
I told you that you can come in and we will buy you nail polish remover. I was going to offer a few hours free, but I do not want you guys coming back because you cannot come in and attack.
First of all, let me tell you this. I wouldn't have to come in and talk to you if your staff would not paint my grandson's nails pink.
You are not even asking what happened and how.
I don't give a damn what happened.
You are not welcome in the center, and I'm going to call the police.
I'm going to call the police right now and file a report here because you did that without consent.
I will happily call licensing and email them and report that this child his nails were painted because that was the activity that we did, and the staff made him.
Everybody painted their nails. My granddaughter's nails aren't painted.
No, not everybody, but it was an activity that was going on. I'm trying to get information about this, but I cannot have anyone coming in. What you're doing right now is harassing me. And
No, you're cussing at me, and I have that recorded. You called me an asshole. That's recorded. I'm not attacking anybody. I'm talking to, and you're yelling, and you're a business owner? You're a business owner. Director, but what did you say your name is?
Jessica.
Jessica, and what's your last name?
San Diego.
Okay.
Yeah, no, they're not here yet. They said no, they're not here yet.
So I have a question. Do y'all always paint little boys' hands, or is he the first one?
No, everyone that wanted to participate today was in there.
And were there other boys that got their hands
Yeah,
painted?
there was several.
And y'all got consent from their parents too?
Some of them they did. I think that's the thing that I was telling them on the phone, that my policy is that they have to ask. They have to ask
Right.
if it's a boy, because I know there is some parents, like, for instance, my husband I paint my son's nails sometimes and he gets pissed because he doesn't like that.
It's
He's like, no.
confusion.
But there's some parents that are like, I don't care. But that's why we were trying to tell them that I wanted to tell the staff so I could write her up, because like I said, they all know that the rule is if a little boy wants their nails painted, they need to call their parents and ask them, hey, can we paint their nails?
Absolutely.
That is.
And we didn't receive one phone call because I asked him, since you guys didn't want to.
Right,
Well,
yeah,
that's what
no,
she's saying. They
that's
didn't
what
call.
I'm saying, that they didn't call, and I didn't know that. I didn't even know his nails were painted until you guys called. And the only reason why I know that a couple of other boys' nails were painted is because one kid was up here when I walked in and his nails were painted, and he was showing his dad, and in my head I was like, oh, I guess they did nail polish today, so that means everybody was called. And I didn't even think to ask that dad, oh, were you called, because he was fine. He was like, oh yeah, that's cute, whatever. And then until she called, I didn't know. And then
What dad said that was cute?
No, some little.
Oh, not
No, some other one, and I didn't know, and so I didn't even notice that Corey's nails were painted.
And that's why I just feel like like, you can tell if a little boy is feminine. So I make sure that Corey, CJ is as boys as you can get.
Right,
He's
yeah.
always talking about basketball. You guys know.
But
So,
it
like,
doesn't even matter.
It doesn't. It's just like, he didn't come dressed or anything.
No.
Like, you know what I mean? Not that matters, but like,
Right,
you're
yeah.
not even painting them green, black. It's something. Y'all painted them pink.
No,
It's-
but that
it's
doesn't
wrong
even
is-
matter.
No, I know. I'm saying a wrong is a wrong. I'm just saying, like, really, like, that's ridiculous.
No, they're not supposed to do things like that without consent. This state of
And
Texas
even
is
little tattoos,
extremely.
like, I don't like that. Like, they're how old? 2 and 3. They can't even spell tattoo yet.
Well,
Like,
again, not only that, he's 3 years old. Like, they didn't have consent, and in the state of Texas, it is a conservative state. You're not supposed to confuse children. And to me, a facility like this should know that. Obviously, you do if you're having them call, and they didn't. So somewhere along the line, the ball's being dropped where these people don't think they have to consult with the parent. And that's what bothers me, because if he knew in his right mind, let's even say 10, and it's wrong then too. He is 3 years old. You're confusing the kid. We already have enough of that going on without people helping it. You know, you're promoting it. That is uncalled for, and it is actually inhumane in my opinion, because it was not addressed with the parent. If you would have called her and she said yes, it's one thing. I would have still probably got, if she's grown, but I would have probably got on her ass being my daughter, because that's not right. You don't do that to a child and confuse them like that. It's insane. It's crazy. And I think that y'all as a facility, because they won't be back here, but as a facility, y'all need to consult with parents. Not only that, y'all need to give your staff training, because obviously they don't have it. They do not have it. And I don't know what needs to be done or what's going to take place. I guess we'll be learning the laws of this stuff, because I don't like it at all. And it will not happen again. I don't care if I have to stand out here and boycott every Saturday or Monday through whatever. I will stand out here and put a sign stating that they
and
confuse
even,
children.
Yeah, even yesterday, my son, I was taking him a bath, and like I said, he has a sister, yes, but he knows his boy toys and what he can play with. And he's telling me in the bath, Mommy, I only play with girls at school. They told me only girls.
Well, I did ask about that too after we hung up, and the staff said that.
Hi, I'm Shelly, and this is Jessica, the director of Adventure Kids, where we've had a serious problem with a kid that went home with his nails painted. And there was a lot that was left out of the video before me, the owner, was pushed to a point of feeling like my staff was in danger, being an hour away. They were being basically harassed by the grandmother who was not on the account. And what led up to this is when Jessica dealt with the parents when they were leaving.
So the parents, the dad picked up, he left, and then a few minutes later, I would say 5-7 minutes later, he calls. I answer the phone, and he's immediately yelling, not asking a question. He's yelling, saying, what the hell kind of place is this? What kind of people do you have working there? Y'all painted my son's nails. He's only 3 years old, and just going on and on.
And it wasn't their first visit. They've been here numerous times. We're giving them huge discounts to help this family out.
And so I immediately apologize. I told them that I'm sorry. I let them know what our policy is, that we do call parents of boys and ask them, hey, is it okay if they get their nails done? Some parents are like, yes, absolutely. Some are like, no. We respect what the parents' wishes are. Even if the kid is crying, throwing a fit, they're wanting their nails painted, we still tell them no. Fortunately, we had a staff member that just completely forgot to call, or for whatever reason, just slipped by her.
She said the kid was super excited, and she was just trying to make all the kids happy.
Yes.
I personally understand it's a problem. I wouldn't want my kids' nails painted, and I was going to reprimand the staff, but
I also let him know that I would write up the staff that was unacceptable, and that I did understand their concerns. He continued to yell at me, and then the mom starts talking, and then I know you see in her TikToks that the mom was at work, but the mom was not at work. The mom was in the car with the dad, also yelling at me, also making rude comments towards my staff, saying that we have a male here that's probably gay, and that's why her son's nails got painted. And I just kept apologizing, staying calmly, letting her know that it was going to be taken care of immediately. I did not say I would call her later or tomorrow. They continued to yell at me, and then hung up on me. So when they hung up on me, I immediately called one of my other staffs to make sure, so I could know who did it. Hung up, called the owner right away, because I knew it was a serious matter
she
that
was
needed
just
to
telling
be.
me the information as the grandmother walked in.
I was literally on the phone letting her know what happened, letting her know that I was mad, that I was angry, I was upset with that staff member. I was letting her know that I was going to write her up, and I was also letting her know if she could call the parents and also apologize on the owner's behalf. So I did let the owner know, because I wanted, the parents to know that I did take it as a serious matter. I was not dismissing their feelings or what they want for their child or don't want for their child. And so as I was explaining to the owner, I'm writing up the staff, I was letting her know. But I also was crying and shaky, because I did get upset as the dad was yelling at me, being very hostile and aggressive, when all I was doing was trying to fix the situation immediately. And so she, of course, got upset that I was upset, but she was also upset at the staff that did that. She was asking me, making sure that I did have that policy in place, and that I was making sure that all the staff knew that. I let her know that I did. As that was happening, she was angry again at the staff, and she wanted to call the parents, make things right, and then call the staff member to let them know that was not okay.
They wanted the video. They wanted us arrested.
They were asking on the phone again. The dad was saying he wanted us arrested. They wanted the video. Well, then the grandma comes in, and I know you guys did not see the whole grandma video. I'm not going to go over what she was saying that you've seen, but a lot of things that you did not see was her yelling, screaming, saying the F word. She threatened that she was going to boycott in front of the center, holding signs out, that she was going to make sure that everybody knew not to come here. She was saying that we were trying to make boys into girls, which is not true by any means. And then the mom walked in a few minutes after the grandma walked in. So the mom absolutely was not at work. The mother was here in the lobby and chose to let the grandma handle her situation by yelling at us.
And I'm an hour away, trying to,
here.
yeah, I'm worried about my staff, trying to protect my staff. And she said, why don't you come up here? And I said, well, I'm an hour away. And when it turned ugly, and I could have said, you're being very mean, you're being very rude, you need to leave, you're bullying my staff. Instead, the word asshole came out of my mouth, and I didn't say, call her that. I said, you are being an asshole and you need to leave, because I was panicking and furious that she was just continuing to yell and go on and on when we were trying to handle the situation. That's when I called the cops, she called the cops. We were able to file a report against them. They were not able to file a report against us because we didn't do anything, how do you say, like,
Criminal?
yeah,
Like,
and the cops said it wasn't a criminal offense, but they were not leaving our facility. We had kids in here, we had staff here, and it was scary for everyone. And I'm on the phone, not very loud, as they are yelling inside the center. So it was way blown out of proportion. If she would have just said, can we talk over the phone, because she could call me elsewhere, we could meet in person. But to behave this way in the lobby was...
So again, like as they were in the lobby, they called the cops. We called the cops. I asked them very nicely. I said, "Could you please wait outside?" I knew that they were waiting for the cops. I understood that we were also waiting, but I did have kids in care. I had staff. I had kids that were scared and traumatized because they could hear the yelling. So I asked them, "Could you please wait outside?" They said no, very aggressively, very hostile. They would not go outside. They were waiting in here. They were pacing. They were taking pictures of stuff, just making us very uncomfortable as we were being very respectful in here. The owner was pissed at the staff until the grandmother started yelling,
harassing
harassing and stuff. When the cops came, it was the same thing. We had a staff member outside that they didn't know was out there, that was leaving, and heard them telling the cops that they wanted us arrested. The cops even agreed, like there was nothing to arrest us for. We did no criminal, nothing.
If you look at all the Google reviews we've always had, great photos we posted, the kids have a great time, nobody's ever been harmed. I personally opened daycare. I've been in 18 years ago, left my career because my daughter had a bruise on her arm, and I was of course furious and decided that I wanted to change my career and open a daycare because I needed to work. And I understand fully from a parent's point of view how upset they would be. And all we could do was deal with the staff, offer them a refund, which is what the cops wanted us to do, to resolve. They said, what can you do to resolve? And I said, well, I guess a refund. We could take the nail polish off. I mean, I'm also going to bed here, getting ready for a funeral the next day of a boy that grew up in my daycare, and he just turned 20. And I'm sitting here thinking about this family and the grief that they're going through. And really in the back of my head, yes, I'm thinking this is stupid. We're talking about color on a nail polish, color on a kid's nails. Yes, they had a right to be upset, but in the grand scheme of life and how short it is, like, we were just trying to move past it. And I was exhausted mentally and worried for my staff. And yes, I said, you're being an asshole, because it was really, in my opinion, way out of line the way that it was handled. So with everybody, they're having all these people prank call the center, which is tying up the line, and people are having to use their cell phones. We are just, we invite anybody to come in to actually write a legitimate review based off their tour and their experiences. We always offer 2 hours free the first time, and anybody is welcome to come in and get a real experience to write a real legitimate review. And I actually talked to one prank caller. So I actually answered the phone to one prank caller that said, "Hi, are you Shelly?" And I said, "Yes." And she said, "You're an asshole." And I said, oh, I actually hung up. And then I called her back, and we ended up talking for about 10-15 minutes. And I told her the whole story, and she was actually very sweet and said, "You should really make a video, and there's some people that are sticking up for you." And all in all, I do not agree, and I was furious with the staff for doing this. But when that grandma started attacking my staff that is like my family, I am very close to my staff, especially this one, and to hear her crying, yes, the word came out of my mouth, and she was being a giant bully. And we apologized to the mom, the dad, and the grandma's not even on the account. She had no rights to be in here just to be yelling at us. That's harassing. And kept saying that everything we were doing was against the law, when we have always followed the rules as the best we can. But we all are human. I'm human. I'm not a real robot. I have feelings and emotions, and that's what that was.
Yeah. This, like she says, that our staff also has feelings and emotions, and now all of the staff, unfortunately, is paying for one staff member's mistake that did get, in trouble for it.
She's young and she was new.
She's very new and very young, and she apologized to us. She cried over it. She's very sorry, and we know she is. But unfortunately, now we have a full staff here that's scared. We're more than a daycare. We're licensed as a daycare, so that is a luxury for parents. But we're a play care.
Yeah,
we're open every single day, 10 p.m. during the week, midnight on the weekend. So yes, you can come here and your kids can play. Some kids just come for an hour because they want to play. They don't want to have structured activity. And I know I've seen lots and thousands of comments of everyone saying, how does that daycare have time to paint nails? Or how does, because we are a play care. Adventure Kids Play Care.
And these staff work hard. It's an exhausting job. If anyone has kids or ever, worked in childcare, it is not a high-paying job. It is something that you love to do because you love children. And these kids have never been abused. They have so much fun. I invite you to look at all of the posts that this one does. Amazing job at making sure the activities and the kids are leaving happy and crying on their way out, not on their way in.
Yeah, definitely. It's very unfair right now that we can't even, make calls or take calls because of all of the prank calls we're getting, all of the reviews we're getting in. It's really unfair, and we just wanted to address a lot of the things that we're missing, and we'd appreciate, if you guys could just stop the reviews, stop the calling. Unless you have personally come in here and had an experience, then we would address it, we'd fix it, we'd help it. But this family too has been coming for a long time, so it wasn't like it was a 1-time, 2-time, 3-time visit and then this incident occurred. They've been coming for a while. We've never had any complaints about our staff from them. I've actually been working really hard with them to get them the price that they need, because I know childcare is expensive. Everybody knows that. We've given them a really good deal. Unfortunately, we did have some issues with mom, and I even agreed to work with dad solely on the price. He agreed, and they recently came back. They're the ones that came back here. So if they did have so many issues, because I know they're also making a lot of false claims on things that they said were happening here while their children were coming, they chose to come back.
Nobody told their boy that he could be a girl.
Nobody said that at all. That's another thing that's getting us, is that they're saying that somebody told their son that he could be a girl. They're also saying that happened on Monday. They did not address us about that. They were not going to address us about that. They just brought that up in the heat of the moment when they talked about the nail polish. And I did ask my staff about that as well. They said that did not happen. Their sister, his little sister, was playing around. They're 2 and 3-year-olds. They were saying, oh, that my brother's a girl, laughing about it. The teacher immediately stopped it and said, your brother is a boy. He's your brother, and he's a boy. Told the little boy, you are a boy, you're not a girl. And that was it. The parents never brought that up to us. The kids have been getting tattoos. I know they said that as well. The kids have been getting tattoos since they've been coming here. The mom has came in the lobby several times telling the kids how cute the tattoos were. The kids were always excited to show the face paint or the tattoos, whatever they had. And the mom was always, oh, that's so cute. I like that. If they would have told us, if she would have told us that she did not like that, she did not agree with it, we would have immediately stopped it. We would have told the staff, hey, their parents don't like the tattoos, please do not do them. But they never once told us that.
And we employ a lot of single moms and college students, and I'm a single mom, and we all work very hard. And if you look at the reviews, and I've had customers where their kids were babies and aged out of one of my daycares. So I really know that this is upsetting for the parents. Mistake happened. We tried to apologize multiple times, and that is before I said the word I shouldn't have said. But I'm not okay with anybody coming in here and bullying my staff and not leaving when they're asked to leave 10 times. I'm not going to tolerate that. And the cops were called, and there was a report against them. And like I said, I've had some staff here over 10 years, and we really work hard. And for them to try to do this to us is, so sorry if the video keeps cutting out, but we are rambling because we are extremely tired, because we didn't get any sleep last night because of this going on all night. And we really do care deeply. We have, like I said, longtime customers that have been very satisfied and posted good reviews, but
yeah, we have connections with a lot of these families, and actually a lot of these families, they are upset with this. They are sad for our staff, they're sad for us, especially because I didn't paint the nails, she didn't paint the nails, but yet we're getting these bad reviews about us. We're getting all of these things, and we work really hard on
I've
marketing.
never done drugs in my life, and the things that they're posting.
Yeah, like that, it's just ridiculous, and it's very unfair. I already have staff telling me, like, should we be worried to go to our car? Like, that's really unfair over nail polish. Like, we get it, we're not taking this situation lightly. That's why we wrote up the staff, that's why we did what we did. But at the same time, this is not fair. This is not fair at all.
And we appreciate all the positive reviews.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And know that I think everybody can speak for themselves that how it was handled, and then they were yelling at the cops outside in the front because they were mad that they were upset that the cops weren't arresting somebody or showing them the video, and some crazy other things that were said. But we appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
Like I said, you're welcome to come in and make your own review based off your own experiences.
Yes, please do that.